James with the Fit RV. Winterizing. Like a lot of people, I have to worry about winterizing the RV because we live someplace where it gets quite cold. But unlike a lot of people, we actually still go out and use the RV in the winter. So I winterize, but I don't winterize like all the way like some people would consider. I don't pull the batteries out and put them on a charger in the garage. I don't cover the tires. I don't cover the air conditioning unit. I've developed something that I try to do to get it done quickly and enough so that no damage occurs, but that's not going to take me a whole heck of a long time and that we can roll out from quickly the next time we want to use the RV. So I'm going to show you that, and hopefully you'll pick up some tips that'll help you, or maybe cut down the time it takes you to winterize. Now, it seems kind of funny to talk about winterizing today because it's a beautiful 70-degree day, but we can get a hard freeze here anytime up until May. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now, probably for the last time this year. And as a bonus, I'm having a lot more fun making this video than I would if I tried to make it in January. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here's the caveat about what I'm about to show you. It requires compressed air. So if you don't have a compressor, this won't be as useful to you. I have this fairly beefy compressor, and it requires a lot of air, so don't try to use a little pancake compressor if you've got a portable one. That's just not going to cut it. You're going to need something that can put out some serious cubic feet per minute of air. So here we go. We've got compressed air. We're ready to go. All right, next. Okay, now we leave a lot of stuff in the RV because we use it frequently, so I'm going to leave things like cups, linens, that sort of thing in, but we do need to empty out anything that might spoil, like the fridge. Since our fridge is the size of a milk crate, this won't take long. Oh wow, I'm surprised we got it all in there. Here you go, honey, take this inside. All right, next. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drain the fresh water tank because there's still some water in it. Our freshwater tank drain is way under here. So, there we go. I think I hear it outside. Let's go check. Yep, there we go. So that's going to take a while. So while that's draining, we're going to move on to the next steps. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to fill the gray and black tanks because we have to drain the gray and black tanks, and you should never drain them when they're not sort of mostly full, or unpleasant consequences can result. So I've hooked up the city water. I always use this little contraption. It's a pressure regulator so that I don't blow out the plumbing on the inside of the RV. I use it when we hook up too, and so I'm using it now. I've got it all hooked up. I'm going to turn on the water, and then we'll start filling up the tanks inside. There we go, excitement. So what we're doing here is we're filling the gray tank, and we have a misplumbed RV when it was built, and I didn't correct this when I rebuilt it, but when it was built, they actually plumbed the bathroom sink into the black tank, which stinks as far as filling up, I made a pun, as far as filling up the black tank, when you don't want it to, but it's great for filling it when you just need to get water into it because I don't have to stand there with the toilet open and a hose down there. So we've got this one going. I'm going to start the one in the back, and we're going to wait until the tanks are, 90-ish% full. All right, and 91%, that's full enough. But now I'm going to show you something that it only took me about 150 times of getting spewed all over before I figured it out. I'm going to leave this one faucet running when I go outside to shut off the water. That way when I unhook it from the side of the RV, it won't spew all over me because I'll have let the pressure out. So, we're done here. Back outside. Check it out. I got drip, but not back spewed on. All right. Putting this away, and next we're going to go to the water heater. Okay, we're going to drain the water heater. Now, as I mentioned, we use the RV frequently. I'm having to winterize frequently. So the standard way of draining the water heater with the little plastic plug and a wrench that I can only move 12 degrees before I have to reset it wasn't working for me at all. So I did a drain modification with a piece of high temperature or high pressure hose and a ball valve. I've made this a whole lot easier on myself. So all I need to do is open the ball valve and open the pressure release to let some air in, and that's going to drain out everything in the hot water heater. So we'll give that a couple minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, water heater's empty, And the freshwater tank is also finished draining. So I've shut the freshwater tank valve, and now I'm going to engage the water heater bypass. Now a lot of people would use the bypass to avoid pumping a lot of antifreeze into their hot water heater. We're not going to use the antifreeze, but I'm still going to engage the bypass so that I'm not blowing air into the hot water heater. All right. And done. Now to the compressor. Okay, when you're using compressed air in your RV, it's very important to regulate the pressure so that you don't blow out the piping in your RV. Now, my air compressor puts out, 120 psi, but the water system in there is probably only good to 40 or 50. So I've got a regulator. I'm going to set this down to 45 psi, and that's what we're going to use to blow out the pump, or to blow out the piping. All right, good to go. Let's hook her up. Okay, you're going to need one of these. It's a little blowout plug. Basically, it's an adapter to get your compressed air into your city water. So I'm going to hook that in. Hook up the compressed air. Remember, I've got the pressure set to just 45 psi. And now we go inside. All right, the compressed air is hooked up, so we're going to use that to blow out the hot and cold lines. Woo! That's the cold. And the hot, maybe it's not yet. So alright, I'm going to do the rest of the faucets in here, and I'm going to towel off, and we'll go on from there. Alright, all the water lines are blown out. I opened up every single sink, both hot and cold, shower, even the toilet. Make sure you don't have any water left in that, and it'll freeze. So now I'm just going to disconnect the air, and we're on to the next step. So, disconnected the air. Came and opened a faucet to let the pressure out, so I'm not having pressurized water lines. I verified that we have a whole house filter. I verified that that's empty. It got all the water blown out of it. So the next thing is to head on to the dump. I don't really think I need to show you what goes on there, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'll be back. Antifreeze. Now I don't winterize the water system with antifreeze because I don't like the idea of drinking antifreeze, and I've got the air compressor. But I do use antifreeze for the drain system. So pretty much the last thing I'm going to do is pour some antifreeze down each of the traps and leave a little bit in the toilet just in case, and that'll just about wrap us up. And I hear it draining, so that's enough. On to the next drain. Okay, and that about wraps it up. The only thing left I've got to do is things like take batteries out of the smoke detectors, which, because in the winter if they get low they'll beep and annoy the neighbors. Cover up the windows and kill the power. I've got a cutoff switch for the battery down there, so I'll kill that and then we're good to go. And that just about does it. Come on, walk. Alright, she's over here in the spare parking, and she's all winterized and ready to go. We'll see you next time.